I think that's the other part that I really want people to understand is it's not just about identifying your story. It's about knowing how to be able to tell your story and who to tell it to. And I love the fact that you're not only helping people figure out the story that they want to be able to tell, but you're helping them figure out who to be able to tell it to and get those reps in because that's where it's really going to make the biggest difference.
But the biggest thing in addition to that is how we're different is we know we're gonna believe in you. We're gonna put that out there into the universe
Mm,
that you're going to be the bestseller on whatever list it is that you're looking to be the bestseller on.
okay.
But you have intellectual property. Have you spoken to an attorney? Do you know how to protect it? I mean, I'm a publisher. I'm going to protect our best investments. I'm going to make sure to look out for you, but we're going to have to look out for us. So I'm going to need you to go and have somebody look out for you because I don't want you to think for any reason that I'm doing anything. So I'm introducing them to intellectual property attorneys online.
Nice.
And then two, you make all of this money. You having a contract and agreement with me. Who do I leave your money to if God forbid something happens and you become incapacitated? Do you have
Yeah.
like some sort of legal like these are the individuals through the podcast that we're introducing our audience to because it legacy building, you have to be able to keep and control the money
Yes.
that you have.
Yes.
You need it to grow. So if you decide that you never wanted to write another book again, that money that you made from that first, how are we going to circulate and move this money? What are we going to do with it? So we have financial investors. We have
Love it.
financial advisors, but it's all a mindset. We have therapists. We have therapeutic, what are they? Therapeutic clinicians, I think that's what her title is. We have
Mm,
mental health professionals that we introduce everybody to because everything
nice.
starts off in your mind. If the story is too deep for you to convey and it brings up all these emotions, you might need to go see a therapist and work through it as you work through your book. That might be your healing. But we are not professionals in every area that you need in order to be a legacy building author. So we
Mm,
introduce you to who you need.
nice. Nice. Yeah, that is definitely a differentiator because there are people that is churn and burn. Like, I'm just meant to put you out there. Whatever you do with it after that is up to you. But to prepare someone, to ask someone to tap into, depending on the story, it could be something that was traumatic. And they have to tap into things that they just buried because they didn't want to think about it. And that was how they survived. But to have someone there to be able to help them work their way through it, that's one aspect. But then there's the whole other aspect of there are people, and I'll speak for myself, there are some people that have issues with success. Like I'm good with being good, but once you get to a certain point and it starts attracting too many people and all the rest of that, I'm an introvert. What they call it, an ambivert, where it's like I can be out there, I can do a lot of different things, but after a certain point, I just want to, I like to be on my own and just kind of off to the side. I don't wanna be there all the time. So you put somebody put a book out, and then they become so popular, and they were an introvert or whatever it is, and now all of a sudden they're in a whole new world that they weren't prepared for. Having someone like that would be a godsend because it's gonna allow them to be able to figure out, all right, well, now you're in a new world. How do
Mhm,
you navigate and manage that world
mhm.
and still protect that legacy? So you're helping them on the financial side, and then you're also helping them protect the legacy that they're building by saying, here's how you're gonna help manage all of this, not just the money, but your mind and being able to interact and not blow everything up because you got to the point where you're like, you know what, I wanted success, but I didn't want all this.
But that's the thing, you need to be well-rounded, and we
Yeah.
don't know what well-rounded looks like until we're thrown into the fire.
Yes.
So, at least if you're familiar with the tools that you need, you know which tool to go to the toolbox for.
Yeah.
Because you would have been exposed to it at some point. So it won't be
Yeah.
that much of a shock. I'm not going to tell you that it's not going to be because I don't know what it's like to be out on the highway and have people beep beep, that's her. I will one day. I will one day. But
Mm,
until such time, but I mean, we have to think about it realistically. If our body fails us today or if our mind goes tomorrow, who is
yeah.
going to manage our money? Like you still have book tours that you're legally obligated that you have. Who's going to manage this? Do you have an attorney? Do you
That
have
part.
a publicist? Do you have somebody that can stand in for you? Like, how do you manage your business? You don't want to spend this time writing this book to turn around to make that money and then be broke and destitute again in a matter of a couple of years.
The
Like, the
one-hit
whole
wonders,
point
yeah.
is to upgrade, to be better, to do more, to have more, and you can't if you keep hitting rock bottom because you didn't prepare the first time. We're not everything to everybody. We are a publisher. We
Mhm.
publish a lot of things, but we don't manage your life. We that's not what we do.
Well, props to you because you're giving them access to these other aspects so that they're aware. Because if you only focus on the publishing part and they have to go seek those things out themselves, how many people are really going to make the effort to be able to do that? But if you can make the introduction, then it becomes a choice, and that choice is something that's up to them whether they choose to follow through or not. Okay, well let's segue over into readiness because there are some people you can help and there are some people that can't be helped, and that's one of the things that also stood out to me because I know from my side of the business, there are some people that have great ideas, but they don't have follow through. And there are some people that have great business opportunities, but they have the bad situations around them. And those things, there's all kind of obstacles that can get in people's way. And then there are just some people that just love to be able to say they're going to do something, but they're more interested in saying they're going to do it than actually following through. So readiness to me is something that it's a requirement. Like I need to know before I invest my time and effort into something. Like, is this something that you're saying that you want to do, or is this something that you really want to be able to do?